Morning all and welcome to another Sunday Q&A. As usual, get yourself a cup of tea. It's going to be a long one. Right, had a bit of a week this week. I know I would do. I know I'm not going to be Mr. Popular this week because all week I've just been doing videos on what you need to do to get started, and that always divides the camps. The thing is, it's done now. I just want to get it out there and get it done. Yeah, right. So had a few constructive comments, other than one guy who started off with some constructive comments, and by the way, by the end of it, they kind of turned into pretty much, I would say, maybe not quite abuse is the right word, but they kind of would certainly an attack. Now the thing is, chaps, I don't have to see your comments. If I want to, there's a thing on my channel and it just goes, hide notifications. I think I've only ever done this 5 times in all the videos I've ever done. One guy made a lewd comment about the missus. One guy had an attack on my mates. And normally, if you attack, you can attack me all you like. I don't mind, as long as you don't attack the others. You know, mine and my, friends and family. But you never pop at me. That's absolutely fine. I'm sort of I'm the target. I'm part of the course after all. After a while, a couple of times, it just gets a bit dull. Like, oh, okay, he's having another moan. Oh, he's having another moan. I said, you know what? I don't need to see it. With the guy in question, and I'll never mention names. You'll know I never, if I've done some work for a career company and it hasn't worked out, I'll never slag him off on the channel because, maybe with this guy in question, maybe something else has gone on behind the scenes, and maybe there's more to it. So I ain't going to bore anybody out on the channel. But the long and the short of it is, he started off saying, I think you should rethink the way you're at it and what you're doing. And there was another guy in there as well, and this one did make me smile. There's another guy in there who says, stop giving secrets away. Secrets. This isn't MI5, this isn't the magic circle. I ain't 00 courier driver. Dun, 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 dun. Come in, Mr. Coath. Sit down. In this file, we have all the information on how to drive a pallet truck for your eyes only, Bond. Secrets? Well, if there were secrets, no one told me. And that's part of what I'm coming to be honest with you. There's 2 reasons why I've just done what I've done. Firstly, there's the money thing. And I have not made any bones about this. All the way through, with all those videos, there is a money thing. And it's kind of frustrating for me, particularly with things like the exchange, that a lot of people do comment on my channel and they say, I joined because of you. Oh, I really hope your videos. Yeah, I've joined because of you. And if any of you out there recommend your mate Barry in the pub and you ring him up and you go, Barry, I've got Barry on the phone, he wants to join. They'll give you a free month. Countless people who join because of me and I don't see it because they say, well, we don't know it was from you. Despite the fact you ring them up and say, I've been watching these videos, doesn't count. And then you kind of think, and it's the same with the insurance, it's the same with everything else. And I kind of think, well, it would be nice to get something back. So I've done that. That's number 1. Number 2, the channel was designed to help people. The gentleman in question, who said I might want to rethink my approach, turned around and he said, no one was there to help me when I started. I'm sure that's true, but wouldn't it be nice if they were? There was no one making these videos when I started, as far as I know, because otherwise I probably wouldn't have been the one doing all the videos right now. But as I understand it, I've been quite helpful to a load of people afterwards. In fact, this week, I got thanks from David Tutt, looking to start. Mate, good luck. Thanks from Jamie Phoenix, RPAD, Jeremy Finch, IT. I've done a video for IT, OV London, Victor Onet. All these people saying thanks very much for your help. So I've got a question. What do I do now? I either carry on trying to do the videos that I'm doing, and I've done that one now. It's just like this when people go, how do you get a factoring company? How do you join the exchange? How do you get insurance? So I can just go to the video. I don't have to do that anymore. That's done. That's put behind me. Carry on helping these people, and hopefully, somewhere down the line, nick a few quid out of it, or go, better stop doing this, because it's upsetting a few people, which means I won't get any money, and I won't be helping anyone. And it's kind of like, well, I think I'm just going to carry on going the way I'm going. Like I say, a few of you out there have pops and all that kind of thing, but you're constructive about it. And I take it on the chin, and sometimes you go, do you know what, he's got a fair point. And I'll put my hands up and go, he's got a fair point. The last bit about this man in particular is he said, no one helped me in the beginning. Now, the frustrating thing is, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but did you not phone me and actually ask me for my advice? Did we not have a 20-minute conversation when I was sitting in the car park, maybe trying to look for another job, and you weren't sure which way to go in, whether this van or that van? Say no one helped you. You actually rung me and asked me, and then you say, but I can't help anybody else. Don't work that way. It's a two-way street. Now, if you want to have a conversation with me about it, please do. You've presumably still got my number, because I've got your number because it's stored in my phone from the last time you phoned me. But if you want to ring me and have a chat about it, rather than have a couple of comments on the YouTube, I'm more than happy to talk to you. And I don't mean this with any malice or forethought. If it ain't working out for you, or if there's anything I can do to help, I'll help. Because that's what I aim to do. But that's it. So all your videos are out there now. We're back to the usual nonsense next week. And on to miscellaneous. Oh, right. I've done that thing on Saturday. And a few people have said the mechanic, Bob Keane enjoyed it, day in the life. Mrs. Shah, do more videos. Paula Bevan, would I consider a podcast? I don't even know what a podcast is. I might do that. I might just do a Saturday on my running during the week. I'll probably see by the amount of people that watch it whether it gets boring or not very quickly. But yeah, we'll have to come back to that one. So, right, so that's that one now. Miscellaneous, what we got. Right, let's start with these ones. Jason Burke says, Darren is still running, his channel is out there, it's called Fifth Wheel. I did the link, can't find any videos on there. Darren, if you're out there, I hope you're well, mate, and let's get them videos up and running again. People want to see you. Gareth Fickus. Oh, right, that's a good question. How many quotes of Van Gogh get in a moment, and are they silly or sensible prices? We're still getting more quotes than usual. So whereas before, if you'd post a job, 4 or 5 quotes come in, now you'll be getting maybe double, triple that. But they are sensible prices. I mean, for example, there was a job, we were trying to work out how to price it, and I could do it, or we could stick it on another Luton van. So I said to Jim, I said, well, tell you what, stick it on the exchange. And obviously we'd rather do our own jobs because it's for our own customer. And if you do it, you know you're going to get it right. If you send someone in, even with the best feedback in the world, you're taking a chance. And put it on the exchange. I had a price in my head of what I thought I'd be happy with, and the prices that came on in the exchange. I had a price in my head of 120 quid, which would be £100 to pay the driver and 20 quid for the firm. Prices came in between 80 and 120. So, you know, you can't charge the man too much because otherwise the end customers start going, they're paying a lot for this. Although recently I've been questioning how cheap our end customers are getting it and whether it might be time for a rethink on that score. I've currently got a van full. I had to do 3 Laura Ashley jobs yesterday, and I have a van full of aluminium ducting. Not helpful when you're trying to get a sofa on board and the woman goes, what's that? So, fortunately, they're end user jobs and quite polite. Pete O'Neill is starting Monday. Good luck. Hold on a second, that's the cat. No, it wasn't the cat, don't know what it was. Yeah, Pete O'Neill starting Monday. Good luck. Luke Moran. Right. The thing about the fuels, he says, Asda and Tesco are missing additives. Are missing additives? No, they're not missing additives. Asda and Tesco will give you the fuel. BP and Shell will put in additional additives on top, which will be better for injector cleaners and engine cleaners, which means although BP and Shell fuel is more money, it's actually a better quality because it's actually got stuff to keep your engine clean as well as just driving the thing, as I understand it. Probably wrong. Impeccables, he's got the UK fuel, same as we have. But he also uses a thing called Pump Checker, which I believe is an app. And I think I tried it once actually, and it would tell you the prices of all the petrol stations in your area. The only snag about it is it relies on people updating it regularly, and prices of the fuel are changing all the time now, so it's getting a bit kind of all over the shop, isn't it? Right, what else have we got going on here? Right. Yeah, we're still on a miscellaneous. I'll jump to miscellaneous. Maybe should have done that one for. Yeah, we'll do a bit on factory companies at the end. Miscellaneous. Ovidiu Alissi and T. King Scott and Gorman Daniel. How much should you charge per mile? Guys, there's a video on it. Just follow the link. Done it before. Thomas Talbot. Best way to eliminate dead miles when coming back. Once again, video on that one too. Just click on that link thing there. It should take you straight to the video of what you need to know. Paul Wilkins, can't get the Road Lords app on Apple. Yeah, I've been using it all week. I'm all over the shop with this thing. It's all right. I've been using it and using Waze at the same time, so I can get Waze on the voice, but I can get Road Lords on the thing. And it was doing all right. And then yesterday, was it Friday? I had to go up to Birmingham, and it was Birmingham from, you guys are professionals, you know this right off the top of your head. You're going from Dunstable to Birmingham, M1, M6, right? M42. This thing was putting me off the M1 every single junction. What, it sent me A421. I presumably it was trying to send me over to Oxford up the A40 or something. Why on earth is it trying to take me? And in the morning I'd drop something off in Stevenage, and it was trying to take me on the motorway. But I know this, it's Argos. Stevenage, it's G1, it's Central Argos, it's round the corner from Argos. I know the quickest way because I do it. I did it every morning for like 4 weeks, so the jury's out on that one. But then after that, you've either got to go Copilot on your phone, money, or one of those sat navs that you plug in, money, or TomTom Pro, lots of money. Although one of you guys I will come to you really recommended it. I don't know, maybe I'll just have to bite the bullet and buy it, we'll see. Oh yeah, it was Lee Westcott. Lee Westcott said TomTom all day long. He said, I know it's dear, but fantastic. I might just have to bite the bullet, mate. There we go. Paul Wilkins. Right, he did this question about how should I price a job, and it was all over the place. And the fact it was on Father's Day as well. I think your prices are $195 for the job plus £75 for the messing about. It's probably cheap, but you know they don't want to pay it. I will do a video on that if I can, because it's quite involved. In fairness, I'll be intrigued to know what you guys think about it. But there we go. Smart Bomb. So there is another freight exchange website out there, and it's called returnloads.net. I think, I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but I will be looking at it soon, obviously, with what's going on. It's more aimed at pallet returns. So it's more aimed at the haulie side of things than the courier side of things. But I'm going, maybe we'll try and jump on that. And if it's any good, and if it's up for you guys, and I think it's worth having, I'll give you a shout, absolutely. Oh, but on the other subject of other courier apps out there, James Garraway says the owner of Courier Expert, he used to work for the exchange, and they gave him a payoff. He said the thing about Courier Expert is they take a large amount out of your bill. So, but again, I've never used it. I've only ever used Exchange, plus got my own punters, so. Yeah, so, but if you guys, you know, I can only comment what I know about. Bob Keane. And we come to the Bob Keane section. The guy's got a comment for everything. He said, best boots, he said it kind of depends on what you are. He said he's a size 7 and 10 stone, so no stress on those boots in the Bilingo. If you're like me, you know, heavy geezer with 5 pallets, well-fed Pete, none taken. Different matter. Yeah, I don't know, in fairness, I just kind of like the boots. And besides, they seem to last forever. And you wear them every day. Fuel cards, he says Morrison's announces every time. Yeah, you can do. That's fine. And the Fuel Genie thing, if you use the Fuel Genie thing, you pay at the end of the month or end of the week. And you have to use Morrison's and all that kind of stuff. But at least it's all in one thing. Can't see the point of Fuel Genie myself, but there you go. Factoring companies, don't use them. You're not on your own now. We'll come back to that again. Bob, I've got your thing, and also Craig Bonser, but we'll come back to that at the end. And as there are clippers on Amazon. This is because if you carry on going, you're going to need a bigger lens. The thing is, if I do it myself, I am going to look like Wallace and Gromit the wrong trousers. You see, am I going like that? Hang on. Without the beard, it bears a scary resemblance to Aardman Animations, so I tend to let the barbers do it. I kind of like it as well. I know it's crazy. My hair fell out when I was... My front bit fell out when I was 21. I had a minor midlife crisis. Minor crisis. Then the back bit fell out when I was 26. Had another crisis. But now I kind of think, well, who cares anymore? Besides, the best bit of advice I ever had on losing your hair was my mate Nathan, who's my best mate's brother-in-law. And his hair fell out when he was about 17, 18. And I said, did it never bother you? He went, no. He said, because I can't see it. He's got a good point. Good old Nath, lovely fella. Right, what else we got going on here? Steve Cornell. Has everyone ever assaulted you on the job? No. Firstly, I'm quite big. I am 6'1" and I'm a 48 chest. So I don't tend to get, when I was at school, people would go, they'd go Pete, and you go, yeah. And occasionally go Pete, and you go, yeah. Oh. And also I'm very affable. So if anything ever, and this is from years on the market when I used to have screaming rows with people over the price of t-shirts. But now, if ever I see the conversation slightly going in the wrong way, I tend to wind it backwards. But that is never. Poor old Jason Burke. He was on the Argos this week, and he said I parked in the middle of the road, and I've gone off to deliver a parcel, and there's a geezer behind him in like the in the flashboard in the BMW, like tooting your horn, come on, get away, and actually threatening physical violence. Even at the stage of saying he was going to get his mate down and get his head kicked in. Jason says, I went home and I'm paying my letter of resignation, mate. It's not worth it. You only get one ticket to the gun show. Don't put yourself in danger. But no, you shouldn't. You should never. No, I've never felt threatened. Never. I suppose maybe on the Argos is the worst thing is when you're trying to find places late at night, and probably on the Amazon as well. When you're going around the States and stuff like that, you might see nefarious looking characters, and you might be walking around with a laptop. Not brilliant, is it? Like, you know. But no, I tend to do work days and do pallets if I can. Lee Westcott. Do you ever pick up hitchhikers? Yes, I do. It will depend on where I'm going, how quickly I've got to get there. Trade plates, obviously, because then they need help. You know, they're just trying to get home. And when I was before I was doing all this, when I was a student, I used to hitchhike. And one of the kind of rules is if you do it, then when it's a later date, you return a favour. You don't see them so much anymore. Last one I picked up was this. Bless her, must have been a very misfortunate lady. She had very few teeth. And she'd been sleeping in church doorways, and she was walking she was just a woman on her own, not an elderly woman, but certainly a woman in sort of her mid-40s, maybe early 50s, and she was just walking in the place on her own. I pulled over and said, "You all right, love?" And I only had to take her to Nearing Village. She said this was just before the lockdown, and she said she'd been sleeping in church doorways. And she said, "But they're all very nice, they all look after me." I believe the woman had mental health issues, but do I pick up hitchhikers? Yeah, I'll pick up hitchhikers. You can't scope them. But yeah, I would. Miles Ellis, see us at Beehive for X Rental. Yeah, bit of change of plan on that one. But if you want to contact me, the thing about Beehive for X Rental vans is, then in my experience, I'm very unlikely to get a curtain side. Most of the rental vans seem to be rigids. So, but if you want to contact me or leave something, I'll just leave a little link or something I can ring you. If I can put other people onto you and you can help them get vans, brilliant. Why not? And also, with a few comments on the vans this week, Paul Wilkins, Damien Luton, Guy Van, they're telling me about their van. It's inspired me, actually, to tell you about the last van, which was Penny. Penny was a jigsaw van, but I'll tell you all about Penny. They're coming as soon as I get around to making some more videos. We're getting them out there. They're banging thick and fast. Paul Gibley, starting with a long wheelbase. Starting with a long wheelbase is a pallet truck a must. No, not in a long wheelbase. You only really need a pallet truck if you've got a tail lift. Because otherwise, what's it going to do? It's going to put extra weight on your van. You can't actually physically take a pallet out with it because it's sitting on the van. And even if you've got a loop with a tail lift, you don't necessarily need a pallet truck, but I would heavily recommend it because you'll lose certain jobs. I mean, you can get to the job, use their pallet truck, get the next job, get it off, but sometimes they want to put it on a fork truck and it has to be delivered to the customer on pallets, like into their garage. So yeah, you only need a pallet truck if you've got a tail lift, and probably with a Luton really, even with a long wheelbase, you can't spin the things around. I would maybe recommend getting a sack barrow. That could be handy. You get the plastic fold-up ones. I've got a mag liner, but that would be handy. If nothing else, saving your own back. Seamus Mullen, he said, "Is there much work coming out of Northern Ireland?" No, not really, mate. I wouldn't advise it. The only thing that can work with the Northern Ireland thing is if you get your own firm out there and you're doing trips from Northern Ireland back into the UK, it can be very handy if you get trips back to Northern Ireland, because then you can get good money, because everyone else is going to have to quote plus ferry and stuff like that, and you won't, because you're going to quote them backloads. But if you were thinking of running purely on the exchange in Northern Ireland, I would say probably not the best thing. I don't know. Other people might tell me I'm wrong, but I probably would say probably not the best thing. Sono Bravo said, "Hi from Mexico." Hello, Mexico. Wonderful. I'm curious to know, what's the furthest away anyone's watching this? Yeah, go on, let's have a little competition. I'll try and work it out in miles. Winner wins a rake. Mighty Bush. Gareth Vickers. What's the smallest rigid truck you can have with a bed fitting, and will it do someone who's 6 foot? It's not the truck. All the trucks come as sort of cabs. I mean, your Iveco, as my mate Clive called it today. What does Iveco stand for? I vibrate, everything comes off. Yeah, why are we going for Iveco? Your DAFs, your Mercedes, and then you've got them little Isuzu things, and the Mitsubishis, they've got smaller cabs. I don't trust them, they just don't look like they can handle it. The cab will be one size, and then it'll be the size of the box. And they'll put the box in afterwards. So you could have a 14-foot box, a 16-foot box, 21, 24, keep going to the horizon. But the cab itself will be big enough. The cabs on the Ivecos, the sleeper cabs on the Ivecos, the DAFs and the Mercedes, yes, you can lie down in a bed in the back of it. It's 6 foot across. So, yeah, but we'll come to that. James Rowan, do you think you'll ever go for the Class 2? Yeah, I think I probably will. If this thing pans out with a 7.5 and I go, right, okay, because do you know a 7.5 road tax is cheaper than my Merc? My Merc road tax for the year is like 240 quid. The total road tax on 7.5 is like £160. I haven't done the insurance yet, that's going to be scary, but we'll come to that one. But yeah, I think I possibly will. If it pans out well, we might jump up again. Right, there's a few now. I meant to do this at the beginning and I've jumped to the back because there's lots going on as usual. Right, the pros and cons of factoring companies. Now, Bob Keane and Craig Bonza have both said, slow down there, Peter. Why are you introducing a middleman? And they are dead right. Like I say, if someone has a go, well, not has a go, but if you make a constructive comment and it's right, I'll put my hands up. Like, you've got to pay the exchange. You've got to pay the insurance people. You've got to pay the wear and tear of the people. If you rent a van, don't rent a van. You've got to pay the van rental. You involve a factoring company, and by the time you go boom, 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 there's nothing left for you. The problem is, boys, when I started, I couldn't have run without a factoring company. I didn't have hope. I couldn't run for a week. I was living on a day-to-day basis, and it was only by getting a factoring company I got it. So I'm saying to you guys, and I genuinely mean this, if you can do it without a factoring company, do. If you've got a 0% credit card and you can put some of the bills on that one and pay the minimum until the money starts to roll in, or if you've got friends and family that can help you out, or you can go to your dad or your father-in-law and say, look, please, just once the money comes in, I will pay you back. Do. Because you don't want these people chipping about at you. But if you can't, it is a way to get started. George Manto. Oh, that's another comment. Right, yeah, I'm all over the shop list tonight, so sorry guys. Can you put some jobs through without the factoring company? They don't like it. Normally the thing is, if you sign up for the factoring company, say I'm going to send all the invoices your way, because that way they get all the cut. Although we've got a thing with ours, because what happened with ours is there are certain firms, as you say, we do not pay factoring companies. And you can go, and they go, no, in the end, if you try and factor these invoices, we just won't pay them. So what we ended up doing is going back to our factoring company and go, look, these are good. We do a lot of work for these people. And if you're telling me that we've got to factor the invoices, that means we can't work for these people anymore and it's going to cost us a lot of money. And in the end, they kind of went, okay. As long as the bill doesn't drop too much, as long as it doesn't. Because I always thought at the beginning, what a wonderful idea. Start with a factoring company and then start only factoring the odd number invoices, or only factoring the invoices from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but keep Fridays. And then just do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and keep Thursday and Fridays. I suppose it depends on the arrangement that you've got with them. And the other question is, how will they know? If they find out, I suppose they'll take you to court. I suppose they'll sue you for loads of money. But yeah, if, like I say, you'd have to talk to the individual company, but it is a thought. What else have we got here? Does my factoring company charge a monthly fee? This is Mad Stew. No, it doesn't. And bear in mind this, guys, if you're signing up as well. So hang on. The reason they don't charge a monthly fee is we throw a lot of dough through them, because there's me and there's Out and there's all the other drivers. So when you're applying for this factoring company, you might want to tell them that you're going to have a very high turnover. Because if you say you're only going to be turning over so much money, then they're going to charge you a monthly fee. And then you've got the insurance, the tax, the wear and tear, you've got the petrol, you've got the factoring company, you've got the factoring company's monthly fee, you've got a monthly fee. There's nothing left. You know, so I mean, everyone's different. You've got to drill down to it. And I don't know if, like I say, when I started making the video, I've got to be honest, when I said I would do it for Skipton's, because Skipton's is our firm, and I still believe they're the best, they're 2.5%. I didn't realise how much the barrier of entry might be quite high. Richard Jones has come up with another one. He says, try We Do Finance. It's £180 set-up fee, and then they take 5%. 5%, isn't it? But if you've got no choice, was it Michael Caine who said it costs to be poor? Rich people can just pay their electric. Poor people have key cards. Key cards charge the electric at double the rate of normal electric. It does cost to be poor. Where you haven't got any money, you have to borrow it. You pay it back for the rest of your life. That's life, isn't it, really? So, right, there's a couple of bits I missed about on the insurance thing. Gareth Vickers said he's gone with a BCD. Worked out very well for him. Longfinger went for the BCD. £1,500 over what he found it for. So shop around, guys. Longfinger's also got this thing. It's interesting, this. Now, I might try and do a video on this, mate. He's another guy who's not necessarily, I'm not necessarily his favourite person, but he's very constructive. You know, and I think that's fair play to you know, mate? He says, you can put your exchange thing on hold at the moment because of lockdown. I think it's £3.50, but you can't actually see jobs, but you can still use the account invoicing thing. So if you can club together with like 3 or 4 other people, you can do enterprise. Now, enterprise is kind of that one where rather than having like owner driver and it's just you and it's your accounts and it's your jobs, it's kind of how we work. You know, that way we can find jobs for our drivers. You can get more than one person on the same app, and so and the enterprise, if you get 4 or 5 of you, it's going to be considerably cheaper. I can only see a couple of drawbacks to this. One is you no longer see the jobs that are around you; you see the jobs everywhere. So if you're in Skegness, you're still seeing jobs for Scotland. You're going, why is job for Scotland picking up? And secondly, all the invoicing gets banged into the same place. So it's a bit of a headache trying to work out who's getting what. But it's something to think about, guys. You know, maybe make the inquiry on the enterprise thing. If it saves you some money, exchange ain't cheap. We know that. Right, that's kind of it. Come to the conclusion now. So what do we say? RA said regarding last Saturday's video, what's the bear in the shed called? Hasn't got a name. Should we have a competition? What should we call the bear in the shed? Keep it clean. Musa Shah, if only the CX had jobs for cars. There's another firm out there that has jobs for cars. It's called Uber. You don't move pallets, you move people. But I know what you mean for moving envelopes and stuff like that, but no, they don't, my friend. I don't think so anyway. Rahimid Ahmed says, it's not, we'll do a video, Pete the removal guy. Won't be many more removals coming this way because change is certainly afoot. There's a new woman in my life. Watch your space. And in the meantime, me and Danny are having a race to the O licence. He said, I'll take you up on that. And then he told me I'd pay for an interim licence. I didn't know you could do that. And at the time, I didn't need it. But I do need it now. Because like I say, there's a new woman in my life. I met her in Birmingham on Friday. She's lovely. And she might be being delivered today. Like I say, watch your space. And take care, take money.